Do you feel lucky? Do you, punk? Because these guys sure were. Happy excuse to get intoxicated day. As you all can clearly see, I'm wearing all green, and I've got my shamrock with me, and I thought on this episode I'd talk about something that has a lot to do with St. Paddy's Day luck. Now, I myself am not a superstitious person. I don't believe that patting the head of a ginger will give you good luck, or that if a black cat crosses your path, you're bound to have bad fortune. But I will admit that some people do fall under some really good circumstances. On this episode, I thought I'd go ahead and talk about a few of those. And while I'm doing this episode, I actually have a little drinking game for you all to play. Every time I say the word luck, or luckiest, or lucky, just drink a gulp of Jack Daniels. You know, actually, maybe you shouldn't do that. That would actually, I think that would probably kill you. So just watch the video. There is a lot of variety of religion in my family. My brother Harold is Buddhist. My cousin Edwin is hardcore Christian. You don't even want to talk about Christianity with him. And my uncle, Gasparilla, is Muslim. And there's some interesting conversations at the dinner table, I assure you. And in fact, this actually opens up what religion I worship. I'll leave that for you to wonder. But anyways, one of the things my brother Harold would often talk to me about was this monk by the name of Nichiren. Now, Nichiren was about to be executed, and they had the black bag over his head, and the executioner was raising up the axe when all at once this bright white orb appeared in the sky, and the executioner stopped, and due to the weird circumstances, they decided to let him go. There's another version of this story that I like, that a lightning bolt struck the executioner just when he was about to chop off his head, but I don't have as much proof for that. I'll leave a link below, and you guys can look at that if you like, but I decided to go with the one that seems to be more verified. But anyways, I like both versions of this story, and certainly there seemed to be some kind of divine intervention that day. That I think we can rest assured about. I have never actually played the lottery, and I'm not planning to anytime soon. It's nothing that really interests me. I don't really get anything from the thrill, but a lot of people do it, and most people will probably not come out as winners. But one person has managed to win the lottery 4 times, winning about $21 million, and her name was Joan Ginther. Now, some people think she cheated the system. She did have a PhD from Stanford, and also she has refused interviews, which is a little bit fishy. But regardless, I think even if she did cheat the system, a little luck must have been involved. And besides, I'm not here to state whether she did or didn't. I'm just here to state the facts. She won the lottery 4 different times, which, I mean, definitely would be a pretty... I mean, there are a lot of people, actually, that do win it more than once. So that is one thing that she has in her favor going for her. But definitely, if she did win the lottery 4 times, she is the luckiest human being ever. Tsutomu Yamaguchi is the only man that has officially survived 2 atomic bomb blasts. Now, the first time he was driving down the countryside, the bomb goes off. He does receive some radiation, but he manages to do pretty well with that, and he lives to a ripe old age. But anyways, the second time, he goes and he tells his boss, he tells him why he's late, and the boss has listened to this cock and baloney story about an entire country being destroyed, and then another bomb goes off, and again, Tsutomu Yamaguchi manages to survive. So I guess that's a moral for all you bosses out there. Next time, believe your employees, otherwise you might be next. And also, a lot of these stories are going to be about people evading death. My favorite president, actually probably just one of my favorite historical figures, period, is George Washington. George Washington is just grizzly bear riding levels of awesomeness. And historians have often noticed that the guy had a lot of luck. For instance, one time he was riding into battle and his commander was shot, and he was just basically an assistant, but he took control of the army, and he actually managed to make them have a safe retreat. He actually did a pretty good job. Other times he would get shot at. He'd have 2 horses shot from under him, and he would get up unscathed and just get on another horse. And then there was this one time that a whole line of soldiers were shooting at him, and just this big cloud of dust like settles over the whole area, and he comes out and he's got bullet holes all in his shirt and his pants, but he's completely unscathed. And of course, perhaps one of his luckiest moments, and believe me, there's quite a lot that I could tell you all, but I just won't be able to get to it, was at the river of Delaware. And it was during his attack on Christmas night. So he's going over, and a British sympathizer sees him and goes and tells Rahl. He sends him a letter. And Rahl gets the letter, but for some reason does not open it. So the next day, George Washington comes in, and Rahl reads the letter and realizes the whole thing could have been stopped. But really, there is quite a lot of stories about this. Please, I left a link below about the stories. You can check it out. But my theory is that George Washington was just a wizard. Or you all can have your own theory if you like, but that's my theory. When I typed in luckiest man on earth, the first thing that I came across was Francoise Lack. Now, I don't know if you would call Francoise Lack the luckiest man on earth or the unluckiest man on earth, because either title kind of works. But there's no doubt that Francoise Lack has evaded death on numerous occasions. The first time he was driving in a bus, the bus crashed into a river, 14 people drowned, and Lack managed to survive. And then he decided not to take buses anymore. He went in this airplane, and the door malfunctioned. He goes flying out, and he manages to land in a hayloft and survive. Then he decided to take buses again. He's going down the bus, it falls into a river, he manages to escape. So now he's specifically cars this time. He's driving around in his car, the fuel tank catches fire, he jumps out just before it explodes, and he manages to survive. And then he's just going down the road, and he's in a car because he decides, well, I can't keep changing all the time. I'm running out of ideas. Next I'm going to be riding down the street on horses. And then fire just starts shooting out of the ventilation shaft. His hair gets all singed, and they never found out why the ventilation shaft started shooting fire. At this point, I think it's just cars and stuff are trying to kill him. There is a reason, but we'll just say there wasn't. Everything's trying to kill him at this point. Then he's going down in his car again because, again, he's ran out of ideas of anything else he can do. And this truck comes at him. It's barreling down the road. He goes flying off, pushes past the guardrail. He smashes through it, and he jumps out, lands in a tree. The car goes plummeting off the cliff, but he does manage to survive. And actually, I think this Dorito commercial captures the whole thing perfectly.
In '62, I was board train which plunged into icy river. 1 year later, I was sucked out of plane but landed on haystack. In 1970, my car catch fire. It exploded just after my escape. This also happened in '73. But with these 3 new Doritos Megawatt flavors, I have 1 in 4 chance of instant winning free Doritos and other stuff. I don't need much luck, which is good.
He also ended up actually putting in a lottery ticket just to see if he could win, because at this point he's like, well, maybe I am blessed by God. And sure enough, he won the lottery. So yeah, I think at the very least you could call him the unluckiest, luckiest man alive. You know, maybe life is all just luck. Maybe it's just circumstance. And sometimes circumstance favors some people and sometimes it doesn't others. Of course, I guess the good thing is people can't always be lucky all the time. Then again, maybe there's just, maybe some people just have good luck. And you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be so mean to people that have good luck. You know, maybe we should just be thankful that there are people like that out there. Because, you know, how would we feel if we were that lucky person? So you know what? Go for it, lucky people. Go for it. You deserve it. You deserve it because you were born in this world and you didn't ask for it. And I'm drunk, so I'm going to stop. Okay, see you all later.